Well, I don't usually do tags, but I've been sitting here this afternoon watching some videos, and I was on a live broadcast. Well, I wasn't being broadcast, I was watching a live broadcast a little earlier. And yeah, I was just looking up at the last videos in my um, to be watched. And sure enough, there was one here by my friend Bernie in Switzerland who goes by the handle of dagocleo. And well, I watched his little tag video, and I thought, what a fun little tag! I think I'll do it too. The question are, when did you start YouTube? Um, I started looking at YouTube back around 2006. In the summer of 2006, I had followed some links from news groups, and they showed me YouTube videos, which I thought was really cool. And then, of course, I clicked on a couple things on the side which looked interesting. And that's where it started. I started watching YouTube videos, and I just thought it was. This is, I guess, the answer to question number 2. Why did you start YouTube? And I started doing YouTube because I just thought it was too cool that just ordinary, regular people like me could make motion pictures and broadcast them around the world. And anybody who was interested could have a look. Now, a lot of things about my life are parallel with Bernie's. We both grew up in the province of Quebec in Canada, and we both had lived there and gone to school there and matured and grew up there, and we share a lot of the same just experiences because of that. We even owned the same 35 millimeter camera back in the late 70s, early 80s. It's just amazing what parallels, And here I am in British Columbia, and he's over there in Switzerland. And so many things about our lives are sort of parallel, which is just another thing that's too cool. You meet people on YouTube that you wouldn't have met anywhere else. And yes, the social side of it is one of the things that keeps me doing it. Not to mention the curiosity about what's going on, curiosity about our world, about geology, pollution, where our planet's going, and so on. What's your favorite show you have made? Lately, I'm doing 2 things still. I do a regular whiskey tasting kind of thing. And I've tasted many, many whiskeys. I do about 2 a week. I've been doing it for about 3 years. Yeah. The other thing I've been doing for over 10 years is the taxi vlogs. I drive a taxi for a living, and I have worked. I've made videos about how things go at work, and I think I make one every week now, and I sort of talk about my entire week, 5 days in a row, videoed on the spot, as it happens almost. Anytime there's the aftermath of an accident or anything like that, I seem to forget recording it. I tend to record the more boring aspects of driving taxi rather than the sensationalist stuff. But yeah, I'd say those two are my favorites: the whiskey vlogs, the whiskey tasting, and the taxi vlogs. Have you met any other YouTubers? I've met several YouTubers. I've met YouTubers locally. There was Slim Shaney and BL4ZZ3R. I'm still in contact with BL4ZZ3R. His name is Nick. He lives not too terribly far from here, and we comment on each other's videos and watch each other's videos all the time. Of course, I have met in person Bernie, who had done the video that got me to watch this, or got me to do this. I've had a few good quality whiskeys today. I've been to 3 or 4 YouTube gatherings. I was at a couple of South Tubes. I think South Tube 3, 5, and 6, something like that. I met Diana Watkins, who goes by the handle of Art of Brown Eyed Girl. I have met Ed. I have met Jim from Atlanta. I met a number of other people. Melissa down from the Holler in West Virginia. Naturally, I've met dagocleo in Montreal. We went and had some beers and smoked meat and beers. that was good times. I've met Dwayne Fry. I've met the Broken Moose, Dave Nicholson. I have met a number of people, too many to mention, at a thing called 888. That was the Toronto meetup, the 8th of August 2008. That was a big, big meetup. I think it's the biggest YouTube convention that there ever was. And I was dwarfed by all of the talent and all of the people who were involved in this thing. But it was quite an experience. And these things don't happen anymore. South Tube has faded down to nothing. And it was fun while it lasted. You know, it was another page out of history, I guess. So yes, I've met a lot of YouTubers. And I continue to meet people who have seen my videos. There was a waitress in my taxi a couple of weeks ago, and she said that she asked me if I was indeed Food Quig. And yes, yes I am. She was my waitress at a restaurant a couple of years back. And number 5, what's your favorite animal? Well, my ex and I had a couple of pet rabbits, and they sort of I became endeared with them. Before that, I would have said the cougar, but rabbits are so incredibly wonderful that if I was allowed to have rabbits, I would have rabbits here. But I'm not allowed, as it's an apartment building, and in this apartment building, animals and pets are not allowed. What's your favorite color? Well, there's a whole spectrum out there. My favorite color? Maybe I can't even see it. Maybe it's in the infrared or in the what's the opposite of infrared? Ultraviolet? Yeah, that's right. Maybe it's somewhere in there. I can't see my favorite color. Or all colors are. How do you choose? I liked to think that it was green at one time, but yeah. What's your favorite holiday? The one that I make up for myself. The one that I go away for a week and forget about everything having to do with my weekly, daily life. My favorite holiday is either a week of camping, when I take a week off from work and go camping, or at Irish Music Festival in fall that I've gone to a couple years in a row. Statutory holidays mean nothing to me. What's your goal for this year? To come out of it alive? Yeah. Aside from that, I don't have any big goals. What equipment do you use? Well, I use an iMac, which I'm recording with right now. And I use this little Motorola phone for my vlogs on location in a taxi. And I have a few digital cameras that are broken, but I also have one now that works because one of my customers paid me by giving me a camera rather than cash. But it works, so I may be shooting something in the near future with that. But generally the iMac and this Motorola phone, and the quality is good. Aside from that, I don't have a camera. How do you edit your shows? Oh, well, my videos get from the camera. I drop the files into a Dropbox, which I pick up with the iMac, and I import them into iMovie, and I do all my editing on iMovie. It's really easy. It's really simple. It's foolproof. And I've used different versions of iMovie from 2005 when I first got a Mac to the present, where I have whatever latest operating system that Mac has put out. It's OS X, what is it, El Capitan, or is there one after that? There might be one even after that I've downloaded already and I forgot the name of it. Who are some of your favorite YouTubers? It's just like colors. How can you limit it to one? There are so many that I enjoy watching. I watch Axemoose, Dave Nicholson all the time. Naturally, I watch dagocleo, Bernie, all the time. I watch several others, Monica the Mad. I watch a lot of shows having to do with, there's one called Classic Truck Rescue, and there's another one sort of related to that one. It's the Redneck Restorations. I watch a lot of car-related channels, Motor Trend. And in terms of individuals, well, there's people like Steve Keeter. There's many, many others. Too many to mention. But when they make a video, it shows up in my feed and I watch it. What's been your biggest success and fail so far? My success is that I'm still going. I never would have believed, had anyone told me, that this hobby would have lasted so long at the outset. I'd call that a success right there. And failure, there's no such thing as failure really, because anytime you goof up or mess up, you learn from your mistakes, and that is a success, isn't it? So, Bernie, thanks for doing this thing, and it's been a pleasure and a lot of fun doing it. I wish we could do those, to attach a video response like we used to, but hopefully you will see this and catch on that, yes, I am responding to you. And yeah, here's to your health, my friend.
Fetwick. Fetwick.
Feckwick.
Fetwick.
Fecklig.